Hi, I just wanted to share an update on my hearing loss journey. If you don't know me, if you've just found this video just, searching on YouTube, my name is Claire Ridgway. I'm British, I live in Spain. And 5 weeks ago, yesterday, so on the 9th of September, 2025, I woke up with sudden hearing loss in my right ear, really, really bad vertigo, and really loud tinnitus, white noise in sort of the right side of my head. And I was diagnosed with SSHL, sudden sensorineural hearing loss. And I actually left it a week because, well, I didn't leave it a week. I went to the doctor that very same day, but I went a week without treatment because the doctor told me it was nothing to worry about, nothing serious, and to come back in 9 days if the anti-vertigo um, pills that she gave me hadn't worked. And it was then that I did research. It was a few days later I did research on it because I just thought it was all very weird. 'Cause she said that my ears were clean, there was no inflammation, no wax. Um, and that's when I realised just how urgent it was. And I got an appointment with a private ear, nose, and throat specialist, and that sort of started the ball rolling on treatment. I had oral steroids for 2 weeks, and followed by intratympanic injections, which are injections through the eardrum um, to get steroids right into the ear, high dose steroids. So I had those a course of three, and I had the third and final one yesterday. So yesterday I had a hearing test, which showed, if you've seen my previous video, it showed no change. My hearing, it's profound loss in my right ear. And I had a really, really lovely chat with the audiometrist. She was the same one I saw last week, who'd been quite horrified by my results. I mean, she kept shaking her head last week in complete disbelief that I couldn't hear anything in my right ear. Yesterday, she obviously had time for a chat. We had a lovely chat. And that was really nice because, one, I could hear her because she enunciated really well and addressed my left ear really well. And two, it was all in Spanish. So I was very proud of myself being able to understand and communicate in Spanish. And yeah, she did the same tests as usual, said it was, yeah, the same, explained that it was profound loss, and explained in kind of layman's terms what that really meant, that really my right ear is not hearing anything. And I did comment about when I did raise my hand to say that I heard really, really loud things, it I felt the vibration of the headphones, and I was hearing it in my left ear, not my right ear. And yeah, she said, "You're not hearing anything. It's dead. It's gone." And that was quite final because I knew that, but someone laying it out really honestly like that, I really appreciated it, but it also kind of just brought it home to me that that ear, it's gone. And we also chatted about the fact, I had a bit of a laugh actually about the fact that I can't walk in a straight line, and that I'm a little bit drunk all the time. And she said, "Are you sure that you're not on the alcohol too?" We had a bit of a laugh. But yeah, she said, as I knew, that it's all related, that the ear's function is not just hearing, it's to help with balance as well. And obviously I've got damage. My ear is damaged. Whatever has caused that, I've got damage to my ear, and so I've got damage to my balance system. Um, and then after that chat, I then went to see my ear, nose, and throat consultant, and he got me to lie down. he gave me the anaesthetic into the ear, and then Tim was in the room for that, and said, could he have a chat with the consultant while I was, perhaps while I was having my 30 minutes sort of lying down and letting the steroids sort of do their work. Because Tim and I had sort of put some questions together. And so while I was sort of waiting for the anaesthetic to kind of do its stuff, the ENT said to Tim, what questions do you have? And sort of Tim said, well, what happens next? And the ENT said, well, this is the end of the treatment. There's nothing else that can be done if this doesn't work. And we might do a what's called in Spain a TAC scan, which we'd call a CAT scan. That they might do that. But really, the next step is evaluating me in a few months. And moving on to thinking about things like hearing aids. And Tim said, but if there's profound loss, if there's nothing in that ear, will a hearing aid actually work? And the ENT said, well, that will be evaluated. And Tim mentioned cochlear implants, but the ENT said that's that that's obviously further down the line, that Spain don't really do implants for single-sided deafness, and that you would be expected to try other things first anyway. Actually, I did read on the Junta de Andalucía website, that's the region I'm in Spain, that actually they do cochlear implants for single-sided deafness, but yes, it is after you've tried other things. So yeah, I'm going to have to go through, being assessed to see if there are other things that work. So I then had the intratympanic injection, which wasn't very nice as usual. And sorry, Oreo, the cat's just walking past. It wasn't nice, and I did have pain afterwards. But it's worth still trying. And then we went in to sit down with the specialist, and he just explained that it's going to be 3 months till my next appointment, because it's no point having anything before then, because there's no treatment. But they want to give chance, in case my hearing improves. So they'll do a hearing test in 3 months, and that's when they will then sort of assess me and think about things like hearing aids. So I came out of that pretty deflated. Oh, we also saw the private doctor who'd been so good, the private doctor that actually got me to go to this hospital, because that's where he works in a state capacity. The private ENT that I'd seen that had actually told me how urgent it was, and is the reason I got treatment in the first place. He was actually there, walking past while I was waiting to see the consultant. And he actually came over for a chat, which was really, really lovely. And he just said, that I need to look after myself. Self-care is very important, and that it's worth looking at my sort of diet, because I want to really keep my left ear healthy and avoid red meat, which is easy because I'm pescatarian. And just, look at avoiding saturated fats, and just keeping healthy. And I assume that's because one of the causal factors in sudden hearing loss. There are many, and because my hearing loss they don't know, it could be one of the causal factors is vascular factors. So I just need to keep the blood flow, and avoid things that are going to clog up my veins, arteries, whatever. I probably haven't said that right, but I'm not a doctor. But yes, keep things healthy. But so I came away deflated, and I Yeah, I burst into tears on Tim, and I've had quite a few weeps. This is the first time really that I've been down, properly down about it. You know, I've had the odd blip, as you know, from the previous video. But I think what hit me yesterday was this is the end of my treatment. You know, that was brought home to me that there's nothing further. I wasn't keen on trying hyperbaric sessions anyway because there's the risk of damage to the good ear. But that was out of the window anyway because it's too long. It's been too long since I had suffered the hearing loss. But it was just, you know, this is the end of the treatment. We can't do any more to try and bring back your hearing. So to have it laid out like that really brought it home, even though I've been moving forward thinking, no, this is permanent, this is probably permanent. It just, you know, it was brought home to me yesterday. And the fact that no one can tell me whether the balance issues, you know, whether they're going to get easier. Um, no one knows. You know, people in the support groups I'm in on Facebook and that, some people say that it fades. They haven't really got it at all, or it's rare. And other people are still, you know, one guy is walking with a walker, but I don't need that. I either hold Tim's hand or I have a stick. And round the house, I'm okay because there's always something in reach to grab if I do feel dizzy. But you know, I can't walk properly in a straight line. I'm sort of all over the place. Um, I don't think you'd know particularly, you know, if I'm walking outside, I don't think you'd know particularly that I'm having real problems. But you know, I'd veer. So it's like I've had a drink. And then the episodes where the world goes upside down, or I feel like I'm on a roller coaster, come out of nowhere. You know, it's not even when I'm moving my head suddenly. They're just, you know, I can be lying down in bed in the middle of the night and have one. You know, it just comes from nowhere. So, and to think that that is that permanent, no one can tell me. I don't know. I am doing some. I'm going to be doing some vestibular rehab sort of exercises that I found online just to try and help with my balance. But yeah, so the fact that this is the end of my treatment and they don't want to see me for 3 months, that idea that I'm on my own now, that's it for 3 months. I've got, you know, no other hospital appointments really looming. And so just feel a bit kind of, well, that's it then. Um, so I think I've got to concentrate on, yeah, self-care and accepting this as my new norm. So I put a book on my Kindle, can't remember the author, sorry, but it's called Radical Acceptance. And yeah, it's about trying to come to some kind of, I suppose, happiness um, through acceptance. And so I'm going to be reading that. So hopefully that will help me. But yeah, I've just got to accept this as my new normal. Um, and yeah, so that was I just got a bit weepy about that, and the fact also because I'd been sort of pinning my hopes on cochlear implant because I know so many people in the support groups who have found that really life changing, being able to hear again in a different way, but being able to hear again with an implant and also not having tinnitus until they take, you know, the sort of the thing off at night. Um, I'd just been sort of pinning my hope on that really because, you know, some people in these support groups have had a cochlear implant within months of their hearing loss, you know, in different countries. And I just think I've got quite a long road ahead of me, if I can even have that. So yeah, just sorry, this has turned into a bit of a depressing video, hasn't it? But I'm here, I'm still standing, I'm still continuing, I'm still managing to work. I mean, how blessed am I that I can work online. Um, it has limited my options. I can't go back and do the care work that I'd been doing to sort of get to earn extra. I'm getting really tired, so I'm not being able to work fully to capacity. I can't. I need naps. I get really tired. I have brain fog. And I think it's all because my brain is just having to cope with so much. Um, it's having to trying to concentrate over this constant loud white noise is hard. Um, so yeah, I'm tired, and that's probably, you know, a factor in me being down as well. So a bit of an update, and yeah, the emotional roller coaster that is sudden hearing loss, and yeah, it is. It is an emotional roller coaster. So I hope that this not only gives an update, but also helps someone if you're watching this and you're suffering sudden hearing loss. I just hope that you get something out of this, and know that yeah, you're going to have down days like this where it all becomes so real, but we can move on and count our blessings, and yeah, focus on moving forward. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope I haven't depressed you too much. I'll see you soon.